Welcome back, everyone. Today is a questioning video, alright? So I have here a budget XC race hardtail, okay? This is a bulletproof bike, it's been everywhere. Alright, and then I have over here a slightly less budget trail hardtail, okay? Now, we're going to compare them, we're going to ride them, I'm going to show you which one I like better, okay? For the money. Let's get into it. Alright, this is a 2017 Trek Marlin 7, okay? In orange colorway, this bike has been absolutely everywhere, okay? We have in front a RockShox XC 30 suspension fork that's absolutely bulletproof with 4 inches of suspension travel, okay? We have a Shimano 3x9 drivetrain setup, and we have 29 by 2.2 inch wheels, and wheels and tires, so non-plus size 29er, it's gonna roll fast. We have a relatively long stem. The head angle is quite steep, so it's great for climbing. And we do not have a drop post. This whole package comes in at around $700 US dollars, okay? So for around $700 US dollars, you get all of these features, and you can always upgrade it. This is a very great bike. You can upgrade it and upgrade it and upgrade it, and make it like many times worth how much you got it, okay? And you've got Tektro brakes with 100mm disc rotor front and rear, and you get that totally awesome orange color. This bike comes with nylon pedals, okay? Those are stock pedals, and it's overall just a really great bike. This thing climbs like a rocket ship. It doesn't descend quite as well as a trail hardtail, but it's a rocket ship on the climbs. Alright, moving on to the trail hardtail. This thing is a 2020 Trek Roscoe 7. Now, this thing costs around $1,200 US dollars, depending on what model you get. So, what do you get for that extra $500 that you pay? Well, you get a 1x12 drivetrain. You get the Shimano, you get the SRAM SX budget 1x12. You get a dropper seat post. You get a 100mm Bontrager dropper. You get a air suspension. Now that XC30 was 100mm coil suspension. You get a RockShox Judy Silver TK 120mm air suspension, all blacked out, lovely. You also get these Bontrager Beeline 40 wheels, which are plus size, so they can accommodate that wider tire that you put on. And overall, you get just this is a trail hardtail, so it's going to be a little more aggressive than the cross-country hardtail. Not quite as good in the climbs, but this thing's going to be way faster on the descents. That's a rocket ship on the climbs. But so this bike doesn't climb nearly as well, but it's a rocket ship on the descents versus climbs. So you get the Shimano MT200 Hydro disc, the 100mm rotor in the back, and a 180mm rotor up front. So the pretty big difference there, but that's some great stopping power this bike has. You get 720mm handlebars versus that's 680, so it's going to feel definitely a lot more relaxed and way more confident and inspiring on the descents. But then again, keep in mind this bike costs $500 more than the Marlin. So what do you get for that? Well, we're going to compare them. They're both totally awesome bikes. They're both fun bikes. I'd recommend both of them. But if you could only get one, well, we're going to go compare them and see, okay? A smooth, flowy, jumpy descent. Now I'm on the Marlin XC Hardtail. I've ridden this bike a lot. I've got a lot of experience on it. And I'm just gonna slam the saddle down. Don't have a dropper, you have a quick release. And send it. I've got 100mm 4 inches of suspension, so I can't go too jump happy, but we're gonna send it. Woohoo! Now, time for the trail bike. I'm going to put the dropper down and use my 4.5 inches of suspension travel, okay? Alright, here we go. Trail bike! The bunny hop challenge. So with both bikes, I'm going to do an American bunny hop, and I'm going to see which one I can hop higher on. Alrighty, after looking at the video, we'll call that one a close tie, okay? The XC Hardtail felt way more, I don't know, like rigid, so my power went into the ground, just popped right back up, whereas the Trail Hardtail felt a little more wallowy, just because it's got that big old 2.8-inch tire pumped down to like 15 psi. So Trail Hardtail had a smooth landing, but the XC Hardtail did get into the air a little bit more. Alrighty. This challenge will be cornering. We've got a right-hander berm right here. I'm gonna hit them on both bikes, and I'm gonna see which one I feel a little better on. My predictions are on the Trail Hardtail, it's gonna squish right, and I feel I can just roast it. Whereas on the XC Hardtail, I think I'm gonna feel a little bit, I don't know, because it feels when you're riding the XC Hardtail, you can't quite push it as hard as you could a Trail Hardtail. Can't really, I'm afraid to really thrash into the turns and jumps with the XC Hardtail. But the XC Hardtail is fast. It's a fast bike. I think that one went to the Trail Hardtail. I felt really confident with those big 2.8-inch tires. They just gripped right into the berm, and I just railed that thing. Now the XC Hardtail was good. I was afraid to push into it real hard because I thought the wheels might give out. I have pre-built those wheels for it. They're not strongest. But overall it was fast on both bikes. I just felt more confident on the trail bike. Alright, the next challenge will be confidence. So there's a jump line here. There's a green line, a blue line, and finally a black diamond. And now the blue line has about 2-3 foot jumps. The green line's got everything rollable features, and the black line has a couple 10-foot gap jumps in it. Now I know on the Trail Hardtail I'm gonna be a little more confident. I'm using that extra suspension I have, those extra marshmallowy tires. If I do case overshoot, whereas on the XC Hardtail I wouldn't feel nearly as confident just because I've got 29ers inflated up to like 30 psi. And 4 inches of suspension, and now I know I wouldn't be as confident on the XC Hardtail as I would the Trail Hardtail. So again, I think that's a win for the Trail Hardtail right there. All right, now we're on this section of trail here. There's a little drop into it, and then there's these two rollers, which are maybe a bike length and a half apart from each other. Now, usually I gap them on the Trail Hardtail, but I'm kind of curious to see what I can do on the XC Hardtail. Because the XC Hardtail delivers a really great pump because it's so nimble and rigid feeling. So I'm going to try that. Yeah! Alright, so I've got this drop section here behind me, and I'm going to try to go up as fast as I can to the top by that brush. Then I'm going to turn around and blast down again. Now whatever bike does it fastest wins. I think the XC Hardtail has a pretty decent fighting chance here, because that thing is like a rocket ship everywhere. Let's go get the bikes. Hardtail, here we go. Oh, this thing is so fast. Whoa. Oh, yeah. All right, time for the trail hardtail. Come on, fatty. Come on. Oh. Okay. So much more effort involved. Woo. Okay, so I'm back, and what I noticed was the XC Hardtail was significantly better on the climb. The XC Hardtail 29ers, those narrow little 29-inch tires, it climbs like a rocket ship. Whereas on the Plus bike, the Trail Hardtail, I was having to muscle those nearly 3-inch tires of all this, and it took so much more effort than on the XC bike. So XC bikes definitely climb better than Trail Hardtails. But on the other hand, going down, I felt myself, I don't know, I came in not as confident on the XC bike. Whereas on the Trail Hardtail, I knew I would use my big fat tires and that extra suspension to just kind of bomb down here, but oh boy, it just took so much more effort getting up. Don't get me wrong, I had great traction, but the effort involved in getting the Trail Hardtail to the top was just so much more than the XC bike. Honestly, that's a bonus point for the XC bike. Okay, now we have come to a Black Diamond technical trail. This is the garden. It is the steepest one here at the Yucca Hills Bikepark. Doesn't look it, but it's actually, it's actually very, very steep. You know, I know it doesn't really show it all that well on camera, but it has a steep trail. It starts out with these jagged tree roots here, then it just goes up to the top where you need to go hop over a log. So anyway, I'm gonna try to hill climb this on both the bikes. I'm gonna see which one I can do it faster on. 9 setup, and off we go. Oh, it's so fast. Done. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Come on, fatty. Oh. Yeah, done. Oh boy. All right, so I think the XC Hardtail is currently in the lead right now. It is rocket shipping up the climbs. It is pump tracking really well. It can keep up with the Trail Hardtail and bunny hopping. I think the XC Hardtail is ahead by 1 point, but the Trail Hardtail is still noticeably better on the descents and technical rough trails. Also confidence on jumps. But now, I'm gonna see if you're like me, you like to jib around, mess around the car park before you go riding. So I'm gonna try that out. We'll start off relatively simple. I'm gonna do a 180 endo here to wheelie out. Okay, so 180 endo to wheelie out. Nice. .180 endo to wheelie out. I think that one goes to the Trail Hardtail because those MT200 brakes are super, super sharp and just great, feel great. But now we're gonna amp it up a little bit. So 180 endo to fakie to wheelie. So you're gonna do a 180 endo to fakie to wheelie out. Harder. Endo. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Yes, yes. Oh, we're almost there. Oh, change jam. Okay. Wheelie. Big fakie. Wheelie. Nice. All right, both bikes did that pretty much flawlessly first try. So I'm gonna say tie. We each give the bikes a point. XC Hardtail was great. Better than I thought it would be, and the Trail Hardtail was great too. So, okay, Okay, then we're back. So, which bike is better? That's like asking what's better, orange or apple, you know? So, the XC Hardtail comes in at $700. Trail Hardtail comes in at $1,200, so nearly twice the price. But I forgot to mention there's a budget version of this. No dropper, you get a 10 by instead of a 12 by, and you get a little bit lower end fork, but still a great bike. That comes in at $900 bang on. So they're about the same price tag if you compare it that way. But overall, the XC Hardtail was a lot of fun. It kept up with the Trail Hardtail for everything except big jumps and technical rough descents. So what did you get? If you like racing and measure your ride by miles traveled, totally get the XC Hardtail, okay? Or if you measure your ride by how much you're smiling and having fun, just kind of, you know, jumping. If you like to jump, get in the air a little bit, get the trail bike, okay? This bike is designed for jumping. It's designed for rough, just technical downhill trails. It's still designed to be able to climb to the top, but it's just not as fast as that cross-country hardtail, okay? This bike is forgiving while still being a hardtail. It's designed for jumping, designed for just having fun out on the trail rather than going fast. Versus the XC Hardtail is a race bike through and through, so it's designed for long miles and going just as fast as possible in all conditions. Doesn't fare as well in jumps and rough sections, but it's still a great bike for money. So it all depends what kind of rider you are and what bike to get. But if I were just starting out in mountain biking, I would actually grab myself a Trail Hardtail, just because it's more forgiving when you're learning like tricks and, you know, it's more forgiving when you're learning how to hop and jump and drop and all those essential skills. So I would actually grab a Trail Hardtail, just because it's more forgiving to ride. Or if you're going hardcore, you could always grab an XC bike. But it depends on the rider, really. So, it depends on the rider. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. High five.